Good morning, Americans for Prosperity. How are we doing this morning? You all look great. It is a pleasure to be back at RightOnline, and it's especially energizing to see so many terrific conservatives in Al Franken's backyard. You're such a cheerful bunch, just chatting with you throughout the weekend. The same cannot be said of our friends down the street. They're very angry. They're a furious group of people. They are ranting and raving, I'm serious, all weekend against Barack Obama because apparently they think he's been too moderate of a president. You can't make this up. One of their speakers, I was told, actually referred to him as a moderate Republican. Now, I don't usually like this term very much, but that would be the world's biggest rhino ever. Let's be honest. So, throughout the week, I was ruminating over a number of topics that might be worthwhile to cover in my brief remarks this morning, and I finally settled on a bit of a counterintuitive choice. So I'd like to take the next few minutes to commend the excellent work of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the newly appointed chairwoman of the Democratic National Committee. This might strike you as a strange decision, so please allow me to explain. Debbie Wasserman Schultz assumed her new role about 5 weeks ago, it was like May 4th. And since then, she seems to have undertaken a wildly successful, if unintentional, campaign to remind the American people exactly why this is a center-right nation. She said that conservatives are, quote, waging a war on women because, you see, we are supposedly anti-women. I think this revelation probably comes as a bit of a surprise to conservative leaders like Governor Nikki Haley and Senator Kelly Ayotte and Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and Marsha Blackburn, and many of you in this very audience. Shame on you, anti-women women. Wasserman Schultz later warned that conservatives believe illegal immigration, quote, should in fact be a crime. Don't you love it when they accidentally tell the truth? Oh, what did I just say? She sneered that if conservatives had had our way, the entire country would be driving foreign cars. She then hopped into her Japanese-built Infiniti and drove off. That is a true story. On last Sunday's Meet the Press, you might have seen this, she claimed that the leftist agenda of bailouts and stimulus, so-called stimulus, implemented, of course, under President Obama's watchful eye, she said it had, quote, turned the economy around. Yeah, the 9.1% of Americans who are currently unemployed were unavailable for comment. And just on Wednesday, this is good, she said publicly that her party, quote, owns this economy. Yeah. I should hope so. I mean, she literally just told us they've turned it around, so you'd think they would cherish the opportunity to own their success. Own it, Democrats. Congratulations. So it's remarkable. President Obama's hand-picked chairwoman for this committee, and he just always demonstrates a remarkable judgment in character. Hand-picked chairwoman said that the left owns the economy, and I'd like to remind her that at this time last year when we all gathered in Las Vegas, the American people also had some unpleasant ownership issues. We owned an Obama White House, we owned a Senate run by Harry Reid, and we owned a House of Representatives run by Nancy Pelosi. We demanded and we got a partial refund in 2010, and we're going to fight like hell to get a full one in 2012. So, on a more serious note, Wasserman Schultz's inept tenure hasn't just witnessed cartoonish attacks and laugh-out-loud gaffes and self-unaware hypocrisy. It's also featured a very insidious line of attack against Paul Ryan's courageous and responsible 2012 budget proposal, which was passed by the House. Debbie Downer has called the Ryan plan, quote, a tornado tearing through nursing homes. She called it, quote, a death trap for seniors. Now, of course, Paul Ryan's blueprint makes absolutely no changes whatsoever for current and soon-to-be seniors. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz knows this. But despite having her distortions debunked by factcheck.org and PolitiFact and even the Washington Post, they've continued apace. Why? Because the left has nothing to contribute to this debate other than fear-mongering and misinformation. So here are a few facts. The Ryan budget is the only plan on the table that significantly slashes the debt by trillions of dollars, brings our budget into primary balance within half a decade, and actually saves Medicare, which, according to the government's own actuaries, will become insolvent in 2024 if we do nothing. Paul Ryan realizes that this country is not facing a death trap. We're facing a debt trap that will metastasize into a full-blown Greek-style crisis if inaction prevails. So he's charted a bold way forward that reduces spending while preserving the social safety net and doing it all the while on our own terms, which is so crucial. Meanwhile, what have we seen from the left? President Obama produced a budget in February that increases the national debt by $9.5 trillion over 10 years and doesn't touch entitlement reform at all, totally disregarding the recommendations of his own fiscal commission. This epic abdication of responsibility was so egregious, it was defeated 97-0 in the U.S. Senate. Speaking of the Senate, Harry Reid and company have not introduced a budget in 780 days, more than 2 years. Instead, they're content to sit back and demagogue conservative solutions while offering none of their own, all in the pursuit of short-term political gain. This is a deeply cynical calculation. And Eric mentioned the ad. You've seen this one depicting Paul Ryan throwing an elderly woman off of a cliff. Yeah, the latest gleaming monument to the new tone and civility about which we're constantly lectured by the left. Let's not mince words. This is a disgrace. Our country has reached an incipient tipping point. Conservatives are prepared to confront our challenges head on and move this country back to a path to prosperity. Liberals are prepared to take potshots, mislead, and exploit people's fears. That's the choice that we're going to face next year. That's the battle in which we are all engaged today. At times it's frustrating, at times it's demoralizing, but I must say, coming to an event like this, like RightOnline with the Americans for Prosperity, and experiencing firsthand the energy and passion in this room among conservative grassroots activists makes me more confident than ever that this is a fight that we can win, and we all know this is a fight that we must win because this country is worth it. Thank you all so much.